Here. Here. This is our position. Not with his elbows digging into my sternum. It's deeper and better than that. So the flat parts of his triceps and my chest hitting down on top. Head control through here. I'm gonna make a grip. Very simple. Good control. I got easy wrist locks. Tap right there. Or anytime I'm ready, I can sit up into the S-mount position. Now you're probably thinking, this isn't real. It's real.
It's real. I do it to my kids.
This is our position. Either side head control. Play with it. Which one's worse? Is it the top arm being trapped? Is it the bottom arm being trapped? Which one? I don't know. You have a wrist lock here, especially if you're a blue belt. You're just gonna pinch this in towards his ear and then use your chest to drive his elbow that way. Right there. Very quick and dirty submission. Make sense? Oops. Do you need to see it, Eric? Okay, let's go. From twister side, here, where this arm is on the inside. So this came from the couple weeks when I was playing with that Americana from here. We hook up, what was it called again? It's a stupid name. Like a black scorpion or scorpion of death or something. I don't know, some American lock. No, the American lock is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a sport. What the hell was it called?
Scorpion Deathlock.
Scorpion Deathlock, thank you. Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, pulling this up in here, catching here, his leg, and then just hipping in to the Americana here, right? So that got fun for like a week, but then people started like hiding the leg so we couldn't get there anymore. But we're gonna use the same entry from the Scorpion Deathlock because we all found this was pretty easy to get to. And then we started switching shotgun arm bars from here and all that stuff, which is great. But instead, we're just gonna go into this pressure system. So it's important that I have one arm trapped in the armpit side and one arm over wrapped here, like I want the Scorpion Deathlock. As I move my right arm up higher, I start looking to step all the way over to the mount and then screwing him over here, like so, and trapping the elbow underneath. And we end up right into the same position, off the pass with good pressure. You like it?
It's so much worse.
It's so much worse. His face is purple. It's so much worse when you do it like that. But that's the entry. Very good, very reliable, easy, high percentage entry. You need the arm underneath here. Nope, you got the arm. He's really emotionally distraught from the last repetition here. So collecting this up high into the hip, scaling this back. If I'm too low here, he can bring his arm down, cross face me, right? No, cross face me with your right hand. Yes, here this starts getting nasty, right? So in order to avoid all this, keep my head down and my elbow back here. Now this cross face me, zero chance, right? As I start walking back, I throw my hip over, curl into his hip, hold this across, and wrap the hook super nice and tight here. So now he's right in that same position we were in. Awesome, right? You like it? Come here, Caleb.
That's not way down.
If you're like fighting a spazzy white belt, you don't want to keep your head up because he might decide he's going to start doing kipping and weird things on you. Safer to keep your head down here, right? It's really difficult for him. But also avoiding the cross face. I think that's kind of my biggest fear was getting him. If he can make that grip, I'm going to get swept. So by staying nice and low and keeping my elbow pinched back towards his tricep, I feel really strong here. As I start stepping over, I hook his hip with my heel and I back heel. And as I do that, I'm pulling this arm with me and sweeping across the face, getting into the position here. Good?
Mm-hmm.
Then I can start making my grips. And suddenly attack. Good? One, two.
It's pretty fun.
A cool position, all, but how do we get here? Lots of different ways. Classically, it'll come off of a guard pass, so especially if like Eric's seated up and remember my back is super shot, so forgive my unathletic movements today. But like off the basic guard pass, where I go to the head, to the shoulders, clearing in on the hip, and I start running around, he starts framing with his arms. This is where this entry comes from right here. Fix my belly. So as I'm kind of moving around, Eric, I can catch, you can see it as I slip in. The orientation happens as you're switching from north-south off of any sort of tripod pass. If he starts framing, right, I'm gonna get some sort of cool entry into something. That's why I don't train in t-shirts, very uncomfortable. So just maybe let's start here. This is super fun. And then as we walk around, you're just looking to get elbow to elbow, and you're gonna sit down, you're gonna be right into the position. Pretty much off every tripod pass, you're gonna feel it. At least for me, it comes pretty organically off the guard pass. You can also do it from like a twister side. If you're passing a knee shield, you make your grips, you shoot up and over. And as you pass, if he pulls this arm back because he doesn't want to get Kimura, very normal. You start switching into it from here. There's this being underneath here is to his detriment. He feels like he has an underhook, but really what he gets is Kimura straight armbar, which I know happens to most of you in here on kind of a weekly basis. So if you free that arm, cool, you're out of that particular trap, but now you're into the scorpion deathlock game. Playing that whole shtick from there. Make sense? So mess around with the twister side pass and the tripod head to the tummy. I think like start with the head to the tummy because it's weird, fun. Forehead right to the belly, and then just move around until you make elbow to elbow connection and you just fall into it. Should be pretty easy. You look happier. Okay, 1, 2.
Give a short of his head on that.
Spend a lot of time in half guard and knee shield. So he's going to be doing something with this arm, almost always trying to catch my far side arm, or he's going to be trying to scoop underneath my leg with this arm and connect his hands on the other side and pushing me away. Like those are all the reactions we should expect, right? So in all cases, the arm is going to cut across his body, and that's when we snatch it here underneath his leg and pin it to his thigh. Really surprisingly strong grip. Like strong guys have trouble getting out of this for sure. So as Eric tries to fight to pull his hand back, I start turning the corner and getting inside here. You keep your guard locked up, your half guard. Yeah. So now I just, as I'm pressuring through, I'm already, just come to this side, guys, so you can see what's going on. So I need to do two things here. I want to pass the guard so I can score my points, obviously. But I have his arm trapped still, and he feels like he has an underhook. And I kind of mentioned this earlier. This is really important for Eric. He's going to use it. They always do. Everybody uses this. But it's actually quite useless. So I'm going to take my foot, and as I get my foot closer to the butt, I'm going to release this arm, but I'm going to make sure that this one is over top and on his ribs. So now he's kind of got this, and he's going to immediately try to wrestle up on me here, try to shoot up. Yes, 100%. And as he does that, I can sprawl back because he can't generate leverage to bowl me over. If this knee is inside close to his hip, go ahead now. Yeah, I go every time. And he sweeps me, right? So in one motion, lock your half guard again. There's a lot of little kind of details going to come here. So I was underneath. Let's rewind all the way back to the twister side grip. Boom, here. So I'm here. I have his wrist controlled. I heel toe until my shin is perfectly up and down. I let go of his wrist. I catch and I sprawl this leg back. It comes off of his hip, just back a little bit. This is going to stop him from being able to wrestle up on top. As I let go of the wrist in one motion, I'm going to capture this leg. Try to wrestle up. It's impossible, right? There's zero chance that he can go now. From here, I start sprawling back. Now he's got this underhook, and he's going to start feeling like I can't wrestle up anymore. So he's going to have to make different plays. I'm going to pass the guard and start looking to attack the Kimura right here. If I get the Kimura grip, I can switch the hips, step up over the head, and finish it. But I don't want to do that yet. his arm is trapped here, right? I'm gonna take two different steps first. I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna connect the power Kimura first. Just cross the arms, and without giving up position, you tap to a slicer, it just hurts. So I'll try to make it not hurt. Is that better? I can start turning here and hit the power Kimura, right? Now it's just a shoulder lock instead of just hurts, right? I could also go one-handed, sit him up, and then extend the hand behind his back and hit the one-handed Kimura. So we'll start with this series. Come back, Eric. Catching, switching, heel toe until my shin is straight up and down. Get my leg away from his hip to give him space to wrestle up. Let go of his underhook, collect his leg, sprawling, keeping my hand on his ribs. As I pull back, he can wrestle up again. Catch my Kimura, boom, right here. This is so predictable. It's predictable movements, right? Boom, catch my power Kimura. Make sense? All right, let's do it.